Good morning. I'm here in Hoboken, New Jersey. This is where I grew up, right across the river from New York, and I always love coming here right before the sun rises to try to do some photographs. And before I have to return the GFX to Fujifilm, I wanted to try to get a detailed shot of one of my favorite views, which is right here across from the Empire State Building. One of the reasons I like this spot is because there's a pretty grungy pier that's here. That's been here since I was a kid, and they keep developing the waterfront, and it may be one of the last few little bits of pier that survives. I see some old tracks on there, and I always like to incorporate it into my photographs because it's kind of like when I grew up. These were like the piers we walked and we played on, and people used to swim in the Hudson River, which is weird. That's the World Trade Center over there. See that? So small. Now, I know the reality of the situation is we don't all have 100 megapixel cameras. We don't need 100 megapixel cameras. You know, 50 megapixels would be nice. You know, the image stabilization is pretty convenient. That's great. You don't have to use a tripod at a certain time. This is a very contrasty scene, so sometimes it's hard to get the right exposure. You're gonna have to do some in post because the foreground is so dark, the background is really bright. We'll do our best. So as much as I enjoyed shooting with the Fujifilm GFX, it's, for me, way too much camera. You know, there's something to be said, of course. I love the Fujifilm X-T3. Small camera, throw in a bag with 3 or 4 lenses, to me is a little bit more manageable, versatile, and enjoyable than this guy. But there is something to be said if you want the most quality ever that you've ever gotten out of any camera. It has been fun, you know, seeing the detail that you can get from the GFX. It's just crazy. And actually one of my goals is to print a GFX image and hang it up, because that's what this is for. It's to make billboards. Also, look at this. 85 millimeter equivalent. 85 millimeter equivalent. The 56 millimeter 1.2. Tiny. Sunrise is gonna come over the building soon. Just a little hint is turn your aperture to like f11, f16. Sometimes you get a nice sun star. So I want to see what this lens can do. I know some of you wanted me to, like, you know, test AF and high ISO, and you know, that takes the joy out of everything and the joy out of doing photography. So don't stress too much about that anyway. So the sun is completely out now, which changes the approach. Try to look for other photographs. You know, you got nice long shadows, but pretty much shooting into the sun now, even though we did try to shoot the sun. Shooting into the sun's a little tough. So I'm gonna look for other photographs, and I think I'm done with the GFX. I'm gonna switch over and have fun with the Fujifilm X-T3, smaller, lighter, different lenses. And I hope you guys are doing the same, no matter what system you're using. It doesn't really matter, but anyway, I'll see you guys next time. That was fun.